What's going down, my friends? Mr. Jonathan Budd here, yet again, back to share an insightful piece of information and a daily dose of kick you in the butt motivation to actually make sure that you're staying plugged in to the real path that you need to be following if you want to create long-term, lifetime results and residual income and an asset that can pay you for the rest of your life in the online network marketing industry. Now, this video was inspired by my good friend, Miss Rachel Jackson, who I've actually has done trainings for us in the past and is really just a phenomenal individual, phenomenal person, and she's done incredible things online. Anyways, Rachel came across my training for the first time, I think back in 2008, the end of 2008, and she paid $1,000 to attend one of our mentoring programs where I taught her how to do video marketing. Now, ever since that moment, okay, she took action immediately, she started making videos. She has consistently generated about 8 to 13 leads a day, largely from all of her videos and from one PPC ad that she has up on one specific keyword in the industry. And it dawned on me because I was thinking to myself, like, this is totally what it's about, okay? It's completely about consistently building your list. And here's why I say that. Now, Rachel, you know, most people hear those kinds of results. They're like, what? They're 8 to 13 leads a day. She's been sponsoring a minimum of 2 people per week into her primary opportunity. She's done great things, right? But she's actually this whole time been focused on building another business as well. So she's been doing this whole mortgage business and making a lot of money there. So she's been focused on it. But what dawned on me that was so powerful, that was so incredibly powerful about this whole thing, is that the entire time that she's been focused on this other business and all this stuff, what has she been doing? She's been building her list, okay? She never stopped being focused on building her list. She never stopped collecting those leads and steadily building that list, right? Now, she's been mostly passive in all of her online network marketing attempts for almost the past year while she's been doing this other business, yet her list is now up to about 2,000 people. She said every single time she sends out an email, she gets all sorts of comments and all sorts of activity and all sorts of things, and it's completely passive. Why is it passive? Because she stayed focused on building her list. Okay? So many people get so confused and so caught up in all these other things in the industry. They're worried about this company or that company. They're worried about this blog, or they're worried about this thing, or one day they're promoting this system and the next day they're promoting that system, and they're missing the complete point to what creates long-term income, a long-term brand, and a long-term asset in this industry. And it is nothing more than continually collecting those opt-ins, collecting those leads, and having the intelligence to build a relationship with them on a daily or weekly basis. That's it. I am promising you, if you do nothing more than that, everything else works itself out. Okay? When you just focus on building a list, it's not about anything else except building that list and building a relationship with that list. All of a sudden, you'll find that you can just send out an email and recruit people into your downline pretty darn easy. You can send out an email and make affiliate sales and put money in the bank today pretty darn easy. You can do a lot of things pretty darn easy when your focus is just completely on building your list. And it has to be. Your list is your asset. It's your brand. It's what stays when everything else goes. If Google shuts you down today, guess what? The list you built from Google is still there. If Facebook or Twitter or YouTube kicked you off today, guess what? The list you built from all of those mediums is still there. If your company gets shut down today and says no more, we're closing our doors, guess what? The list you built is still there. Throughout all of these things, the list you build is still there. So let's be intelligent today. Let's focus on the most long-term and passive income strategy that there is, I personally know of, which is list building, okay? And the reason why I say I personally know of is just because out of my experience. Out of my experience, you know, I'm not Richard Branson. I don't have $50 million in a bank account that returns a 5% interest, and you know, that's obviously pretty passive. But until you get there, list building and having your own list is the true asset. Okay, when the real estate market crashes, guess what? Your list is still there. When the stock market crashes, guess what? Your list is still there. So, you know, it's really difficult to explain how powerful it is to actually have a list. And I don't even care if you're in the home-based business industry. I personally think everyone in the world should be building a list of some sort. Because when it comes to creating income and creating money, why would you not want to have a list? Even if your interests are dogs and you just love dogs and you just want to talk about dogs all day long, you should be building a list of other people who are also interested in dogs and who also want to talk about dogs and who also like knowing more about dogs. Because if you have a list of people who love dogs and you love dogs, then at some point you're probably going to be able to benefit very drastically from that network. And you've heard it many times before, but your network really determines your net worth, okay? And on the internet, what's made this so amazingly wonderful is that you can have a network as large as you want, completely scalable, of hundreds of thousands of people, even millions of people. You can have that network stored in an autoresponder as a list, which you can communicate with by touching a button. Boom, done. Hundreds of thousands of people can receive your communications. And I don't care what industry you're in or what you do for work, but every single person needs to earn money. And I personally believe that every single person should be building a list, because a list is the coolest way to earn money that I know of. And that's why I wanted to make this video and just drill into your head so much what the most long-term strategy in this industry really is. Because your main objective should be never to stop growing your list. Okay, that's what the objective really is. It's to continue to grow that list and even more so develop better and deeper relationships with your list by really offering them amazing value, amazing content, and truthfully trying to change their lives in every single way that you can. And when you come from that perspective, you'll find that people naturally want to reciprocate with you. They want to do business with you. They want to send you money because it's the natural laws of reciprocation. You are benefiting their life. And there's no easier way to do that than a list and hitting a button. So, no matter what happens to you, keep this in the back of your mind, that everything could crumble tomorrow, and as long as you're focused on building a list, and as long as you have a list, you've got an asset, you've got a network, and that network determines net worth. So stay plugged in, stay committed, stay dedicated, and never stop building your list, my friends, because that's really what so much of creating an online network marketing asset is about. We'll speak again in a bit.